This is Matt with Family Shooting Center. Today I've got a new breech plug for our muzzle loaders. This is one made by a company called Green Gorilla Outdoors, located down in Columbia. Awesome little company. They are producing new breech plugs for muzzle loaders. A typical breech plug is usually about an inch or so long. This is theirs, which is about 3 inches long. What in the world and why would that be? Because that's going to take up a lot of room in our chamber. The whole point of this system is it's a powderless system. So when you go to fire this thing, it's only going to use 22 nail gun blanks from the hardware store. These are the RAM set. They have a power scale of 1 through 5. Yellow box is a level 4. That's going to get us on a 50 cal muzzle loader about 1,000 feet per second, which is crazy. Because the other twist, we're not going to use any more black powder. So during the pandemic, impossible to find and extraordinarily expensive. Currently, if you still want to get this bottle is about $40. That's a lot of money. So you unscrew your breech plug, you're going to put their new one in. We've already installed it, and what you do is you just make sure your hole is lined up appropriately for your 22 blank to fit into. They provide in their kit extra washer gaskets for the new plug, along with a pry device to pry off your spent 22 casing. What we'll do, we install the breech plug, close our action. Anyways, we had a little camp robber out here. We're gonna take a patch and a ball and we're gonna load it, which is the most foreign thing, because what do we always do with a muzzle loader? We're going to load powder first. So I'm gonna position my patch and ball, start that. Might be a little out of frame here. Down. Now, I had a few theories potentially about using a sabot versus patch and ball. I felt patch and ball kept a tighter seal, and therefore when we fired our 22, because their plug is taking up the length of what a full 100 grains of powder would be. So when that's screwed in, when you have your powder load, typically your 100 grains of powder would end about here, and then you'd have patch and ball. This takes the place of the powder. So it builds up all the pressure inside this little tube and discharges down the barrel. On Amazon, they have a 6 out of 6 on the power for some Blue Point fasteners. We found these can actually get a little higher, and we were getting velocities about 1050, 1075 or so. Now we didn't bring out the chrono today, but we want to give a few shots so y'all can see this. We're going to drop our 22 in, close the action. Range is hot. We're going to get on target. Then we'll go for our gong. A little low. With loading, we've got our breech plug positioned in the appropriate spot. We're in the 6 o'clock for our 22 hole. Bring the gun down. We're gonna do a patch. Put it in the center of the barrel, or center of the muzzle. Start our ball. Open our action, put in our 22. Now I've noticed there is always a little buildup of some unburnt powder at the back of the receiver face or the front of the breech face there. We'll give this a shot and see how it does. Oh yeah. That's pretty dope.
Ready?
Yep.
Go. Ow, me! I shot the lid or something.
It's set. Lot of turns. Oh, look at that. Ended up at the 6 o'clock. How about that, eh, mate? Now, we just ran the forest snake. We cleaned out our barrel. We're gonna get a patch. Patch. Ball. Yeah, it ends up being at the spot of about 120 grains. Try a 6 power.
Mm-hmm.
Those CCIs are just, I think, a better quality. Every single time they like fire. These guys, sometimes you got to rotate them, and not the best. Yep, they'll fit though. All right, downrange. Let's shoot. 3, 2, 1. Damn. Zinging. Makes a cool sign. We should have brought the...
Oh! What is it?
It's the very bottom.
Let me see it. Oh man.
Shit, I didn't realize my sight is bumped. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Okay.
1 second.
Alright, we good?
Alright, range is hot. We've got our primer in, our action closed. We're on target, cock, and firing. A little more energy there. Gun's clear. We can go check it out. You good? Got it?
Hmm?
Got it? Wait, ¿tú tienes videograf?
Yeah.
Ah, papa.
Acción.
Acción, acción. Alright. A little more hydrostatic shock from the black powder. Looks like it went a little left. Wow. Look at that. That actually still hit pretty darn hard. These bottles are tough. Thought it capped it. Look at that hole. That punched just a perfect hole. And then punched out the other side even. I was hoping we could recover it. This one hit pretty good, tore the bottle apart. So you can tell there's still a big difference with the black powder. I have no idea the legality of hunting with this system, but the ability to go shoot is definitely there. And I'm sure in some parts of the world, they've got no issue with you hunting with this system. I'm sure whitetail and small game, this would be just fine. That's pretty dope. Good. Currently we're unscrewing the breech plug. And once we get this out, we're gonna put in the factory breech plug and we're gonna shoot a proper projectile. So looking through, it's extraordinarily clean. There's very little powder being shot with the 22. So our barrel is extraordinarily clean. If you want to try to get a shot of the barrel, use the white table to look down. You might see a good little view there. Alright, so these are both CVAs. Then probably want to do, let's just do like 90 grains of powder. 80, we'll do like 85, right? Okay. So we'll do a nice, easy 85 grain of powder load. Down. So, for those that aren't aware, our breech plug, I'm going to put a little grease around the threads because it has not been in the gun for a while. So, what we're doing here, putting a little bit of grease around the threads. This plug hasn't been fired in a while and who knows how clean it is. So we're probably going to fire a primer just to blow it out. But we find our threads. So you always turn to the left until you find those threads and get that. You get a click where it lines up. And then it's super easy to turn in. You don't cross thread. We're gonna go all the way in. You don't need to go monkey tight or anything. You just screw in until it snugs up. In our case here, we're gonna come around the side because we know our barrel's clear. We just watched, but we're gonna be safe always. I'm gonna load in a 209 right there, close it, and we're gonna blow out the breech plug. There we go. Crack open. Oops, I left it right here. And we'll remove the primer. So now we've blown on clear our breech plug. We know it's clear. We're gonna come back around to confirm. Take our muzzleloader. Assume the position. Make sure we're clear. since this guy, it's been a little bit. Make sure we get a little line here, and we'll say CVA. We'll go black powder, empty. So I've marked my range rod where we're at for empty on the regular breech plug. I've loaded up 85 grains of powder into our powder measure. Dropping that allows us to ensure all the powder has come out. And then we will get a patch. Make sure we've got one. Patch, ball, start it, ram it. The range rod, you can use the rod that comes with the gun, but for me, range rod is a lot more stiff. Makes it significantly easier. This one I'm able to measure and mark where everything's at. We'll say CVA 85 grain. So now I've got my CVA empty and at 85 grains, just so I know. Just a helpful little double check when doing this. I want to get a primer. That up, powder's all that. So now I've got powder, patch, ball. We'll open our action. Make sure we're just snugged up. We'll come around, and at this point, I'll switch places with you so I'm not thrown. At this point, this is where I'm going to want to put my eyes and ears on because it will be a little louder. Is it anything like a center fire? No. But hearing is very expensive to replace. You can pause it if you want. Right, we good? Alright, range is hot. We've got our primer in, our action closed. We're on target. Cock and firing. A little more energy there. Gun's clear. We can go check it out. Got it. Oh yeah.
All said and done, this is a pretty sweet system. The Green Gorilla breech plug that uses 22 nail gun blanks. It's very reliable. It produces velocities that are anywhere from 850 to a little over 1,000 feet per second. And that's using either a sabot or the disc or just a patch and ball. The one thing I would say is it would be nice if the velocity could get higher, because when you shoot it next to the black powder, as you'll see in some of these scenes, it doesn't have that punch that you get when you put anywhere from 80 to 120 grains of black powder in, or Pyrodex. But it does carry a decent amount of weight where I'm definitely not going to get in front of it. And when you see some of these jugs of water get hit, there's a good amount of energy still coming into them. So I have no idea. I haven't talked to any Department of Wildlife folks or anybody else about the legality of it with using it for hunting. But I know we do have a meeting coming up with them that I was going to propose it to, show them this and see what they think. There's a lot of weird rules. You can't use the Sabo round that has the sleeves, kind of like a shot cup. You can only use the little disc that you use a jacketed projectile, kind of like a mini ball that sits on the disc on top of the powder. But nonetheless, it's a really cool system. It's going to price at a decent price and give Green Gorilla some support. Thanks.